What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Miss Peaches, and welcome to Lay It Out. And I have my co-host with me,
Kiana.
and today we have a great show for you guys. We will be discussing a segment called Frozen Hope. Now, we're going to pick apart a Netflix series. It's called Frozen Hope. And it's talking about a young 2-year-old who ends up having a brain tumor, but her parents are so stuck on keeping her here because they believe that she don't have enough time on earth. They want to preserve her brain, so they decided to freeze her. Yes, you guys, I said freeze their daughter. And what we're going to be doing is talking about some pros and cons of this frozen segment, okay? So I have my thoughts about it. It's, of course, it's going to be about nature, about society, and it's going to be spiritual for me. So, to each his own, but again, this is merely our opinion, okay? All right, so first we're going to go with some pros, Kiana. What can you tell me?
If this experiment works on
Enzymes,
it can help preserve the memories of the brain.
Now that is good.
Not only the memories, the personality she had.
Oh, wow. Now, just say that you're used to this 2-year-old sassy girl. You want her to have the memories of when she was younger, being around her dad and mom and things like that. That in itself makes you feel like, wow, that's a great thing. So they want to do that. They want to make sure that this child has that opportunity. And if you can preserve the memory, I think that's one of the main reasons somebody should be frozen, memory and a medical condition. So, that's something to think about.
So, the family, when there was kids, their dad mainly, the oxygen was turned off, so the water was toxic to the goldfish.
Okay,
so they were like, oh, let me freeze the fish, and it actually worked.
So when you're saying early on and before she was born, did this happen before she was born?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so before she was born, they had some goldfish, and the oxygen was turned off, and he figured, hey, I don't want to basically suffocate these fish. I want them to have oxygen, so I need to figure out a way for them to still survive. And he froze the fish. And slowly but surely, he was able to bring the fish back. And so this was the beginning of a thought process about how to freeze human beings. But at that time, he did not know that this was going to happen to his daughter. So the thought process of it, him already experimenting with that type of situation, it encouraged him to have hope for the future for his daughter. So,
and also, we're technically animals, so it should work on us if it works on these fish.
Right, so they consider us, mammals or, animal-like people. And we always experiment on animals first before we do any human trials. And that's one good thing I love. Please don't just throw us in the lion's den and be like, we're going to hope for the best. Thank you. If it don't work, next. No, we're not people like that, okay? We want to make sure that it works before we try it. And so this is just a touchy subject because who's to say, yes, it's going to work? Who's to say, no, it's not going to work?
Another pro is that if enzymes if they unthaw her and it works and help her preserve her head, these future people can probably figure out the cure to this rare brain tumor, which is called ependy-blast-toma.
Wow. Okay. So at this point, she's going through some things. I want y'all to watch the series, okay? So I'm trying to be as brief as possible, but she's going through some things, and they want to preserve her. And she has this brain tumor. And what they're hoping for is that scientists in the future can have a cure. Now, the difficult part about this is that she's the first with this type of tumor. Like, there's no cure. She's the first they ever seen with this type of tumor. And so, unfortunately, in order to cure it, you're probably going to have to see someone else with it, and they cure that. Mm-hmm. And then you can take the technology that you have with that and proceed with her situation. Yeah.
Another good thing about this process is that they're telling them about this process. They're not just keeping them in the dark, not telling them, hey, they're telling them, hey, we're going to freeze the brain now. If you want to watch, you can watch. Okay, so they're involving the parents and the family with the process. That's a great thing, because a lot of times we want to be involved in whatever decisions, medical decisions that are made for our family. You know, being left out in the dark, we don't like that. We figure, hey, it's something I could have did, or hey, it's something I could have said. I could have spoke up and things like that. But a lot of times, maybe it wasn't nothing you could do. It's just God's way and His will. But that's how our thought process is. And so we want to be in the knowing, you know, to know. And by them scientists explaining the process to the family, they know what to look for in the future, at least have hope for, you know. So that's a good thing, to keep them involved and knowing. Freezing the brain, if it was a success, it could, like, restore whatever she had of her parents. Like the brain. So since it's being froze, she can sense whenever her parents is talking and stuff. Oh. Like, whenever they come and visit her, wherever she's at, she can hear what they're saying and sense if her mom, dad, her brother, cousin, any of those. So you're saying people, when they come around, the brain is still going, and that she can sense and hear her family members and still remember that, like, whenever she's unfrozen. And that's a great thing too, because we don't want her to wake up and not be able to know nobody and just be like a newborn all over again, which some functions are going to have to be like that anyway. But if she can get those memories back slowly but surely, and already have, you know, these voices that she heard, you know, the memory already, then that's great. You know, you don't have to redo everything. And that's great, because who wants to redo everything? Nobody. You know? Especially me. Okay, what's another pro? Another pro is that one of the scientists actually froze a brain and preserved it for some animal, which is called a rabbit. Okay. So the scientist, one of the scientists, I don't know the name of the scientist, but he won a prize for being the first one to do this. So that's good. That's a good pro for this, because they have one of the scientists that was the first to do this. So he won an award for that? Yes, ma'am. So someone already froze the brain, which was a rabbit, but they froze a brain and won an award for that. That means we already have technology out there to do this process, and that's great. We're not going in blind, you know, so that's great. And if this actually works, you guys, I mean, you can freeze the brain, you can freeze an arm, your nervous system, your whatever. Like, it's hope for medical miracles, you know, for the future for people. You know, some people died in the past just because they did not know how to help themselves. Doctors didn't know what to do. But now with this new technology, man, you never know. Hope for the best. When they freeze that brain, this is another pro. When they freeze that brain, they can put it in a computer. Like, they can put it either in another body or in a computer, where she can, whenever one of the family members come to that computer, she'll be on that screen doing what she's doing on the computer. so they can put the brain like a chip on in a computer. It's like a chip in a computer when you put it in. So
they can record their process and their progress, and that's great too. Now that you can use chips, you can use computerized technology. I mean, that is amazing. You know, everybody used to write things down back in the past. I still do that. It's called a secondary backup for me. I'm gonna still write down some stuff. But having it computerized is faster. You know, it could, even if it goes out, you have your written part. But as long as that doesn't go out, it updates and things like that. So that's great. I mean, the more the merrier for technology.
So if they preserve that everything right, if they're in the head too, they can get they can find whatever they need to find for the body, because they got little tubes they're acting like that's the nervous system, because you know how they kind of disconnected the nervous system when they
with the head, right? And so if they find what they need, they can somehow apply that, and they know what to do to put it in there, because they didn't want to disconnect the whole thing, but they had to have something fill in acting like the nervous system, right? But be able to still preserve the brain. Now, if your brain goes, you guys, it's hard for anything else to function. That's why when they say that your brain dead, your body probably still has function, but it's gonna be out of whack, and you're not knowing. We'll say it won't have structure. You know to tell your brain to raise your hand. But if your brain dead, your brain doesn't have the activity going on. So you can't tell your brain, you can't tell your hand to raise. You get what I'm saying? So yes, we need to preserve this. This is one of the most important things, y'all, as well as your heart.
This is a pro for people who want their parents to come back from,
Okay.
So, if they can bring insides back from the dead, then they can bring other people back from the dead, if
they can bring what?
Enzymes back from the dead.
Enzymes? Oh, the enzymes, okay.
The person, enzymes or...
Oh, Eins. Okay, I didn't know what you...
back from the dead.
Okay.
Then they can bring other people back
from the dead. Other
people.
Okay. So, yeah, that is something to think about. If it can work for one, maybe it can work for others. And then when you think of others, then you think of many. And then it's going to be going on and on and on. But there is a catch. There always is a catch, okay? So now we have to get to the cons. Y'all ready? Although it sounds so good, of course, where there's sunrise, there's a sunset. Let's go.
So, here's the first con for this. So, they had to dehydrate the body. You know how we are made up of 75% of water?
Or even, 75 or 60 to 75% water. And then, you know what? Another fun fact, 80% of our brain is water.
They're not taking the whole body, but they're taking the head. So, they're dehydrating the head and the brain and stuff like that. They're dehydrating the brain and stuff like that, So, whenever they do that, the eyes is going to be sucked back.
Ooh. That's, just the thought of that makes you say, ooh, And a lot of times, like I said before, the family wanted to be in there with the process going on. So they had to see all that. A lot of times, y'all say y'all want to be in it, but you ain't ready for it. You get what I'm saying? So let somebody talk to you about it first, and then decide if you want to be involved in that. Don't just automatically say, oh yeah, I'm there, I'm doing this and that, and then when it comes time to, do what you got to do, you flake out. We don't want that.
Okay, here's another con. The scientist said there's a 0.1% of the chance of bringing that person back to life. So you never know if they're gonna bring that person back to life or not.
Yeah, so just say 0.001 chance that they can bring the person back to life. Oh my gosh, just thinking of that number is discouraging. However, you still gotta have a positive mindset. We gotta have trial and error in order to succeed, you guys. So that's a pro to continue to do it regardless. But the con is the percentage is low. People can lose hope, but that's sad, you know.
So another con is the third con is that you know how she has a cancer that they haven't figured out,
right? Unknown cancer, right?
And they haven't found the cure for this in the future. Whenever they want to unfreeze her and unthaw her, they have to find her a new body, which is as difficult as it's itself.
Just hearing that. First of all, they are preserving her brain, but now it comes to the point where if they find a cure for her brain tumor, they also got to find her a new body to put the brain in. It's just so much. Like you're doing a lot. I mean, I understand you don't want.
And the difficult part is that they gotta find a body that's her age. They can't just put her in anybody.
That is correct. I know we just say, you gotta find a body, but this person has to be a 2-year-old. Wow, just think. It has to be a 2-year-old, another 2-year-old that dies so she can use that body. Oh my gosh. That's not nothing I want to even think about. Ugh.
The tough thing is that the fourth one is that these doctors and scientists are sending her to America, which is you don't know what they're doing to your daughter while you're still in Thailand.
Oh, Thailand.
Thailand, and they're in America.
Right. So you're just trusting these people that you don't know who says they are scientists to take your daughter in this tube. They have a tube that she's frozen in, and sending her to America. You're hoping for the best. You do not know if anything's gonna go wrong or anything like that. One thing I do know, I don't know if you have it on there, but if they drop her, she's gonna break. When something's frozen, when you drop it, it breaks, correct? So they gotta be extra gentle. And how you gonna get from Thailand to America? You're gonna have to fly, right? You got a lot of turbulence. You got a lot. It's a lot. Oh my gosh. Ugh.
It can cost a lot of money.
Oh yes, we ain't even got to the money part.
So this is here what it costs. The whole body costs about $15,000.
Wow.
And the brain and the head costs $12,000. The organs, like the heart, the major organs that you need in your body, will cost I don't know how much that would cost.
A lot. They probably. Okay, so that makes sense when you think about it. Your head, right? If you breaking it down like that, she was saying your head I think costs about $12,000. Your body costs
like your whole body
15. Okay, 15,000. When you get to the organs, they're gonna cost even more.
Like the major organs, like the brain, the heart.
Because you can't really function without these organs. Well, or the brain, but these organs you need, and that's a lot of money. And when you think about it, not only is it a lot of money for the person to pay for their loved one to be saved, just say that for the future, it's a lot of money for the scientists to have to test and redo and test again and redo and revise and things like that. So it's a lot of money everywhere. It is a lot of money coming from each side. Test, redo, revise, all this.
It can take thousands or dozens of years to get this cure. And some of those family members may not know whose Eins is. Like, whose Eins? So, it could take dozens of years.
And the crazy thing is, like she said, it takes thousands of years, right? And the people who are from her family that's left now, generations done passed, they're not going to remember who this person is unless they keep telling each generation, make sure you remember Ines, make sure you remember Ines. They're going to go on about their way, and this girl is going to be frozen there forever.
And but those scientists that was there before, it's not going to live forever, you know.
They're going to have to pass on the education. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they do it the right way. Mm-hmm. If not, if something is left out, that's the thing. You can't even really leave out steps in this type of situation, because one step that's left out can actually mess up the whole process.
The reason why they had to dehydrate it, because it's going to get detoxified.
Wow.
So, here's another con. It can get intoxicated if you don't dehydrate it.
Toxins and stuff like that can come in.
It make it where, like, if they then dehydrate the brain, it will make it where your brain is going to be toxic to the body.
Ooh.
Because
you don't want
if
that.
you put it, if you forget that step and then rehydrate it, you can rehydrate it again, and then you have to put it in some formula to make it detoxicated. So if you don't do that step, it's gonna make the where if they put him in find a 2-year-old body, and it'll make it where like it's not good.
Right. It's gonna basically either reject the body, or it's gonna make the body toxic. The new body that you got that ain't nothing wrong with. You know, it probably, say if someone died in a car crash or something like that, and then soon as they die, they come and they get their organs and stuff. The organs are preserved. You know, or say the body, nothing really happened to the body, but they ended up passing away or something. Even that body that's healthy at that time can be filled with toxins just because they didn't do a proper step. Yeah, that's sad too.
You know how they had the eyes was sucking in the brain? So if they, after they dehydrate it and then they rehydrate it, it may not go back to its normal size, which is not a good thing. Because you need your brain to be a certain size to make the body like work out. And the eyes, if you have the human being have some eyes, it's it's gonna be like in more than out. So
that's crazy.
That'll be bad.
It has to be formulated to the right structure, and if it's not, you know, your brain probably won't go back to the size that it's supposed to. So now you have a smaller brain in this body, which you're supposed to have a bigger brain, and that in itself can have problems. It just seems like it's more problems than the positive. Of course, usually that's how life goes, though. You know, it is. But we still have hope. But it's so much to just try to preserve one person, you know? But we gotta try.
The last con is, it has like different steps to making this process work. First, they have to cut off the head, put tubes in it to make it as if it's like the nervous system. Then they have to take out the brain until they can dehydrate it, and then put them in the little container tubes things. Then they have to transport it to the
United States.
Then they so on.
Yeah, do the whole process. So it's steps. You can't miss a step. You know, and one of the cons for me, which is more important than anything, is because I'm a believer in God. And when God says that it's your time to go, it's your time to go. I would not be wanting my body, my brain, any part of my organs or anything like that being preserved as far as making me try to come back and live a longer life. When it's our time, God is calling us up. Allow him to do so, because when you try to go against God's commands or God's will, you're gonna have problems. Even if you feel like you done planned it out to the T, you're still gonna have a problem because it's not God's will. Now, if it is God's will, then it'll work out. You know, it may not work out as soon as you want it to, but eventually it will work out. Now, the only way I would say preserving these organs or your brain or anything like that is good for us is if we're trying to have these organs for our family members or especially our family members and children and stuff like that for the future in case something happens to their organs. But at this time, we still have passed on. This is when we have passed and they're taking the organs out of us and they're preserving them for them. Not we're trying to preserve for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, to me, it can be a win-win, a lose-lose, a win-lose. To me, I just believe preserving should be for technology for others in the future.
And also, I heard they're
For the future, too.
I heard they're gonna 3D print organs now.
I want to know how that's going to work out.
Like they're gonna have like a sketch, like a little drawing of a heart or something, and then 3D hit and print it.
But how they going to 3D, like how they're going to actually take this 3D model thing and put it in there? It's going to be a fake heart, a fake liver, a fake stuff like that?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
know, I don't know. Technology, you never know unless you're a scientist. I do love science. I do try to dibble and dabble in whatever I can, you know, watch YouTube. I like to read books and things like that. But I leave that part up to my son, Xavier. He's the science geek. I ask him things. But it is good to know. Always be expecting the unexpected. When you think, oh man, that's not possible, you need to try to research to see if there is a will, there's a way people gonna try to find to do it. All right, so I don't know what you guys think about this situation. Either it's a pro or it's a con. You can leave a comment in the bottom below section. Let us know how you feel about the whole situation, and also let me know if you feel how I feel about, hey, if God said it's your time to go, it's your time to go. We shouldn't go against his will. I would like to thank everybody for watching this video. I appreciate each and every time you guys come and support us. Thank you so much. All right, so let's give you the rundown. On Mondays, hey, we're going to have Mazeki Comedy. So if you would, go to YouTube, go to Facebook, and most importantly, go to TikTok. All right, so we'll have Mazeki Comedy, or we'll have Megan Shirley, MEGAN SHERLEY 22 on TikTok. You'll see little funny videos and things like that. All right. Also on Tuesdays we have Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday,
Where my kids and I will be in the kitchen cooking a Mexican dish. Or we'll have 2022 Tuesday.
2022 Tuesday.
Yes, where you can choose a dish for us to make and we'll make it on live and also post to YouTube. Okay? If we don't see any comments, we'll just pick something random and make it in front of you. On Wednesdays, we have Mazeki Art. Kiana's going to make you guys a beautiful portrait of something, okay? It's going to be beautiful because my girl can draw. But yeah, she's going to present her artwork or even go on live, okay? On Thursdays, I'm going to be promoting my music. Oh, yes, I hope y'all still promoting and giving me thumbs up and things like that, you know, liking the video and supporting. Also, if you want to go and buy it, you can always go to Spotify, Apple Music. You know, it's Mrs. Peach's Music or Mrs. Peach's Topic on YouTube. Now, on Fridays, we have Lay It Out. Okay, where I come and I talk about different things that's going on in the world. We're just going to talk about it. We're going to lay it all out. Discussions, you can leave comments below. That is fine with me. Open floor. Saturday, we're going to have What I Should Have Said Was comedy skits. Yes, I am bringing it back. We are on season 2 and we're going to continue. Okay? And you're going to know about Friend. Yes, ma'am. All right. And last but not least, we have Sunday. Sunday, we have Mazeki Church Service, where I would love for you guys to come and worship God with us. Okay, read about His Word and know how to pertain that in your life. Like, bring that from what we learned from the past and we bring it into the future. Okay? We want to know how to spread God's word correctly. And what His will is His way. And we want to make sure that we're doing that and we're pleasing Him in each and every way. We're going to give Him the glory, the honor, and the praise. Okay?
Amen.
So again, thank you guys for watching. Tune in every weekday for something fresh and new. Until next time, my friends, always stay blessed. Bye.